The Giant Rain Advanced E Plus is Giant's very first e-MTB, equipped with the brand new 48-volt system. In this video, I'll thoroughly show you exactly what it can do and precisely what makes the Rain Advanced so special. With the impressive Giant Sync Drive 3 Pro in the 48-volt system, Giant is certainly following a notable trend in the electric bike industry, namely consistently increasing the motor voltage. The advantage is that we can work with lower amperage or current levels, which simply ensures that the entire system operates with less strain during peak loads. As a result, the components are subjected to less stress. In other words, if you ride a lot in turbo mode and tackle long climbs, the whole system doesn't get as hot and is simply more durable over time. So that's already a plus point for many riders. And the lower currents also ensure that even with a slightly smaller battery, you can still achieve a long range. And also, this is why this bike only has a 560 watt-hour battery in here. Of course, that brings weight advantages, and what those look like in detail, we'll now take a look at with the Rain Advanced E Plus models in detail. Here in front of me, you can see the absolute top model of the Rain Advanced E Plus series. Specifically, the Giant Rain Advanced E Plus Zero, here in the flashy, striking color Purple Haze, as Giant calls it. Looks really cool. You'll definitely turn heads on any trail with this. It features purple, blue, and there are even some glitter flakes in it, so it looks incredibly stylish. The new Sync Drive Pro 3 motor from Giant in the powerful 48-volt system delivers a solid 90 Newton meters of torque. A special feature, which we also have on all Giant Rain Advanced E Plus models, is this magnesium cover down here, where you can really see that the designers put a lot of thought into it, giving the motor extra protection with this metal cover here. The whole thing is powered by the new 560 watt-hour InTube battery. Of course, also in the 48-volt system, which basically provides the power for the motor here, and there's also a 280 watt-hour range extender that you can additionally attach for more range. So with the range extender, you have a total of over 800 watt-hours of battery capacity. And that's absolutely competitive and really a lot. And the special thing about the top model here in Purple Haze is that the range extender is always included from the factory. The whole thing rides a bit differently than what you might be used to from full power motors. In the highest power mode, of course, it takes off right away with full throttle. If you choose the sportier modes like Active or Sport, then you do have to pedal a bit yourself. I already took it for a test ride earlier. You can also adjust everything via the Ride Control app. I'll go into detail about that in my test video, where I'll share my thoughts on the test ride. Otherwise, here is the new Lux display, which is integrated into the top tube. I think it's really awesome, looks really good too. They've also included a large power button to start the system, and you have a clear, easy to use ride screen. And what I also really like is the new Ergo 4 control unit, which blends in very minimally on the handlebar and lets you control the display. You can simply swipe through the ride screens and adjust everything using the Ergo 4 on the handlebar. It works really well and smooth, and this way you always have everything you need to know right on the display. Although your focus with this bike is of course always forward and on the trail. Now, since we're already talking about the handlebar and the e-bike system, we're almost done here. There's another feature here as well, the new tire management system, which basically consists of air pressure sensors integrated into the Smart Gateway 2.0 system, and it wirelessly displays the information for you right here on the display at all times. It is accurate to within 1% of the actual pressure. And what's especially smart, this happened to me during my test ride, it warns you if the system detects that you've dropped below a certain threshold. The system also lets you set when you want to be notified about this. You'll know when you need to pump up the tires or let some air out. That's smart, well-designed and well-integrated. Smart, well-designed and well-integrated is also this handlebar stem unit. Of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but from a design perspective, it's truly a real eye-catcher. Here, I've always called it a bit of an antler style. It looks really stylish with a nice rise, rides really well and gives you a very comfortable riding position. And above all, the cockpit also looks clean as a result. So you don't have any unnecessary control units here, just the SRAM shifter for the gears. Eagle AXS transmission in the XX version, so even here high-end shifting 12-speed runs buttery smooth even under load. It shifts really nice. Other than that, you have the lever here for the Fox transfer dropper post. And apart from that, there are only the brakes here. And it all just looks really stylish. Here it's also connected again with the clamp. So we only have one clamp left and the Ergo 4, so it really looks super stylish. A special feature, what Giant has also started doing, is routing the cables externally, so not through the stem anymore. Of course, when it comes to maintenance, it's convenient for me, since I sometimes do the tutorials on our channel. I'm really happy about that. At the front, 38 Fox factory. What can you say? It's a really great part that just smooths out all the bumps. 180 millimeters, and in the back also a Fox shock with 170 millimeters. So it's really made for that rough terrain in the bike park, enduro or downhill. With this setup, you're definitely well equipped. Carbon wheels, they are really stylish, they roll super well, and of course you can definitely feel the significant difference in weight. Before we take a closer look at that, just a quick note on the side. SRAM Maven Ultimate brakes, excellent stoppers for this bike. I've ridden them myself. They'll definitely bring you to a safe and quick stop. You really have to be careful not to pull so hard that you end up going over the handlebar. So be cautious with that. In terms of weight, I just checked again, it's about 22 kilos. It was measured at around 22.7 kilograms. So for a full power motor with a big battery, a large cassette in the back and thick tires, that's definitely a pretty substantial weight. This makes a lot of fun. Carbon frame, of course, I don't think I even need to mention that. Carbon rear triangle, obviously. If you're interested in this, it's 10,999 euros. In my opinion, it's definitely worth it because it rides really well and looks absolutely awesome. Great equipment, 48 volt system, so it's really a cool bike Giant has developed here. For the mid-price segment and in a somewhat, let's say, more appealing color, not so wild, the Rain Advanced E+1 comes into play. The frame is, of course, the same. Carbon frame, carbon rear triangle. Everything is identical here, including this special headset we have, which can be moved forward and backward with an adapter. This means you have the option to adjust the reach of the entire bike according to your preferences, either extending it by 5 mm or shortening it by 5 mm. Currently, it's set here in the neutral 0 mm offset position. Otherwise, it also has the 560 watt-hour battery. Here now with a 38 Performance Elite fork installed, also 180 mm, and the same Fox shock that we have here with 170 mm. Otherwise, it uses the TRP Evo brakes, which I'm also a big fan of. And of course, everything is just a notch lower here. Same goes for the drivetrain. Here it's the SRAM 90 transmission, so not the electronic one, but the mechanically shifted version. Still, it's mounted directly to the frame with all the pros and cons that come with that. Otherwise, similar bike, but here it no longer has the integrated handlebar stem unit, but instead the classic stem, also with a riser bar. Handlebar, 35 mm, without Kashima coating, but still really high performing overall. The motor is the same, just as much power, and the Rain Advanced E+1 costs 7,999 euros. So it's also a really stylish and aesthetically pleasing bike. The entry-level model of the Rain Advanced E+ here in its version 2 is truly my personal favorite. Not just because I genuinely really like this particular matte grey finish with those delightful little white and pink flakes subtly embedded within it. I really like that because the features you get for the price here are, in my opinion, really interesting. We have nice 4-piston brakes here, Shimano SLX brakes that definitely do their job. The motor system, of course, is identical across all of them. And also with the frame, just to add, there's a flip chip installed at the rear here. That means you can also adjust the geometry here, not just at the headset, but also here depending on your personal preferences. This bike now comes with a RockShox ZEB fork. It's a step below, but you still have the Fox shock with 170 mm of travel as the rear suspension. And when it comes to the drivetrain, and I actually see this as an advantage, so I wouldn't call it a negative thing at all, you have the Shimano Deore XT Link Glide installed here. So this is the dedicated e-bike drivetrain in XT quality, which I'm really a fan of, because here you have slightly thicker, more robust components, which makes a lot of sense on an e-bike, so you can keep wear and tear to a minimum, especially when you're dealing with 90 Newton meters of power here. I really think this is a very, very interesting bike. Particularly since it comes in at 6,499 euros here, which is quite a statement for an electric enduro in the full power segment with a 48 volt system. And I think that's absolutely awesome. Now that should be a quick overview of the new Giant Rain Advanced E+ models. If you still have any questions about the 48 volt system or the bike itself, just drop them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them for you. If you enjoyed the video as much as I did, then give it a like. Feel free to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more news, and if you just cannot resist this bike or want to check out all the specs again, head over to our shop and have a look. You'll find the bikes there, and now I wish you tons of fun with your e-bike either on the road or out on the trail.